We're in St. Bernard's Parish. Right over there on the other side of the levee is Plaquemines Parish, and all day you have been here. Basically, there's at least 10 feet of water or more on the other side of this levee, and that levee is the only thing that's keeping that water from pouring in here to St. Bernard Parish.
It's pretty amazing to see. This is part of the federal levee system, protection system, that is really helping out St. Bernard Parish. Unfortunately for Plaquemines Parish, they don't have something like that right on this spot. That's a huge problem. The water's coming in from the Gulf, storm surge, overtopping a levee, a far back levee back there, and it's really just poured water in to Plaquemines Parish. The amazing thing about this, of course, is it's 20 feet of protection right on the other side. Their estimates with the water was about 20 feet high, 15 to 20 feet high, and you can see on the other side some neighborhood developments, subdivisions are actually completely submerged. You can see the tops of the roofs.
You can see the tops of the roofs of the buildings. Let's just walk over here, and as we walk, we've been seeing some very dramatic rescues all day long, starting early this morning, even before law enforcement rescue crews were going out there. Individual citizens in their boats were just going out rescuing people from their attics, from the roofs of buildings, from the tops of levees. We have some video of an elderly man being rescued along with 4 of his dogs. But you get a sense as you get closer to this levee, just of the height of it. It's about 20 feet high total, but about 16 foot at the gate. You can see a little bit of water pouring out underneath, which is where this water is coming from. But there is a huge amount of water just on the other side of this levee, and we have some pictures of that as well. But last I heard, there were still people in need of rescue in Plaquemines Parish.
Yeah, they're the expectations. It's really hard to tell a specific number of people. Those are
these tropical storms and hurricanes are given names, and it is almost fitting because many of these storms have their own personality, and this one will be remembered for just how slow it moved across the southern part of Louisiana. The eye of the storm started coming in just a few hours before midnight last night here in the United States, and it is still taking a long time to make its way across. Usually these storms can blow in rather quickly, and within a day or so you can start seeing sunshine again, but we are now 24 hours into this, and we are in a little town called Grand Isle, Louisiana, which is about 80 kilometers south of New Orleans, and this is a barrier island. This is the end of the road. Just beyond me here is the Gulf of Mexico. And the home that we're in, this is the home of a well-known shrimper here on the island, and it's one of the strongest buildings to be in, thankfully for us, because it has been a treacherous 24 hours. We are completely surrounded by water. The good news is that as bad as this looks, it's actually improving for us. But right now, many of the roadways are simply impassable.
We closed and had to head up the highway, but the whole front yard is covered with debris. And it's very hard to see because the wind and rain is blowing so hard. We've got power poles all over the highway, all the way down south. I couldn't make it any further south to Port Sulphur because we had reports that the Mississippi River was coming over the banks. And it was starting to come over, but the Corps has assured us now that peaked at 7 to 8 o'clock, and the river will start dropping. You know, Anderson, we had a historical low river and had saltwater problems right before this storm. We never dreamed that this storm would push water up the Mississippi River to where it would be a foot or two from coming over the banks.
Even before this storm, you were having problems with salt water coming up the Mississippi, right?
Absolutely. We had to stop that operation and move those barges north for this storm. And we had a river batch we were walking on before this storm, and to see the water, this storm pushed that much water up the Mississippi River to bring it to the top of the levees. We were worried about our back levees, never dreaming that we would look at the Mississippi River, waves washing over this river levee for this type of storm. I actually rode out Katrina, and I ran for parish president because no elected official came to Plaquemines Parish. We didn't even know, no one even knew we were alive in the parish. And I got angry, and that's what made me run for public office. But my home seeing the same damage, the back wall moving, the roof being blown, parts of it, they tell me there's a 3-foot hole in my roof. I'm seeing the same type of damage for a Category 1 that I saw for that.
To dry land. In the height of Isaac's wind and rain, a tense water rescue.
It just came in, man, and it didn't stop.
It just kept coming, that's all. It just kept coming, the water just kept coming.
Around 3 a.m., water came rushing over the levee, protecting the town of Braithwaite. It filled homes, trapping some 80 residents inside. Charles Dodds rode it out in his attic. He got out with only his dog.
We watched it rise and we got everybody up that needed to be up, and we just waited and then it just stopped coming up. So, but we're all right. That's all that matters.
The rising water covered homes and businesses. It swallowed up a train and even sent coffins floating out of graves. It's a case of deja vu for many here.
Lost everything again.
Who lost homes in Katrina.